Perfectly Imperfect Mommying with Nurse Annette and Ashley Collins. Whether you just found out you're pregnant or a mom of multiples, tune in as we dissect the challenges, face the fears, and embrace the crazy moments of mommying that'll make it all worth it. Here are your hosts, Nurse Annette and Ashley Collins.
Welcome to this episode of Perfectly Imperfect Momming. I'm Ashley Collins.
And I'm Nurse Annette.
We are going to dig deep into the topic of things that your mom did not tell you about having a baby.
Momming and laboring is not easy.
Let's get this going right away. We're gonna
talk. This is Ashley's favorite.
This is my favorite one. I've been wanting to talk about this.
Yes.
Forever. Let's talk about the poop.
It's all about the poop.
It's all about the poop today. Did you poop at birth? Are you going to poop at birth? To me, I was paranoid.
I was too.
Am I gonna poop when this baby's coming out? And will my husband know about it? That was scary to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It is to most women. You know, that is, I will tell you, this is the problem, okay? If you're pushing correctly, you're gonna poop. Because pooping is the way you push. Okay, say the same muscles that you use to poop are the same muscles that you use to push a baby out.
So should we not eat anything before?
No, eat. I will tell you, honestly, I don't even notice anymore. You know, and the deal I had with my husband was if I poop, it's don't ask, don't tell. I'm not going to ask you if I pooped, and you're not going to tell me. So there is no communication. Now, for me as the nurse and the physician, and I know all of us feel this way, we just get rid of it.
Yeah, because my mom didn't tell me that was a possibility.
Yeah.
And I think a friend or something mentioned it, and I'm like, Mom, wait a minute, I'm going to poop when I have the baby? And she's like, well, you could.
Right.
It's this casual thing. You could, but
it's
I was
normal.
paranoid.
Yeah.
People are going to see me poop?
Okay, so back 80s, 70s, right through there, you got a nice enema.
Oh.
Because it was like, let's clear you out. Can you imagine an enema when you're in labor?
No.
Doesn't that sound enjoyable?
I'm a little uncomfortable.
It's a no. Yeah, we don't do that anymore. We'll have a few women that mothers probably told them that, and they'll ask for when do I get my enema? And I remember I even asked, when do I get my enema? And the nurse says, do you want one? I said, well, I thought I had to have one.
Right.
So it was a no, I didn't want one. But this is the problem, is we have women that are concerned about pooping, and so they won't push well.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to deter anybody from pushing right.
So I have to remind them, it's okay. I want you to poop. Try to poop. Because the first sensation they get when it's time to push
you feel like you got to poop.
I got to poop. I got to get up and poop. So
no, that's the baby.
Yeah, that's the baby's head. It's coming down.
All right.
So yeah, all about the poop.
So we'll get more into poop in just a little bit because I've got more, trust me. There's also another thing I didn't really know about, the Fundal Massage.
The Fundal Massage after delivery. Basically, that's us helping your uterus contract down to prevent postpartum hemorrhage.
Okay, and how do you do that?
So we find the top of the uterus, we make sure it's nice and firm, and we massage it down to expel any blood clots, excess bleeding. It helps us control bleeding.
Okay.
And it helps us monitor for it. And we watch that closely after delivery. About 2 hours, we're monitoring it very frequently. And then after that, we're continuing to monitor it about as often as we'd monitor your vital signs for the duration of stay. And by doing that, we are trying to prevent postpartum hemorrhage, be on top of it, and help the mom so that they're not bleeding excessively unknowingly.
Right. Another thing that's quite uncomfortable, even just to mention, is the tearing. It's a part of birthing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So is it absolutely 100% that it's going to happen? Do you have to have an episiotomy?
Yeah.
Do you want to tear or have an episiotomy?
What's the best way to go about this?
Yeah, let's talk, because I had a big baby, and unfortunately that's just a part of the experience, but some people don't, at all. But.
Yeah, you loved your peri bottle.
Oh, that peri bottle. Can I have another those.
Yes, I know. Still get them.
Yeah.
So as far as an episiotomy versus tearing, so episiotomy is used to, for a good portion, there was a good time frame that they were like, okay, we'll just cut an episiotomy.
That was the it thing to do.
Yeah, it was. And the idea was to prevent the tearing.
Yeah.
Okay. But what we've found is the body is made to heal from tearing. I mean,
Thank
it
God.
was designed to have a body come out of there.
Yeah.
And we knew that there was going to be some of that going on. Now, can we prevent it? There's all sorts of techniques that you hear of from
primrose oil.
Coconut oil,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Really, if we can have a nice controlled delivery and allow that baby's head to stretch, and it just depends. Some women are able to allow that to happen. If you've heard of that ring of fire, that's that baby's head coming down, that's extreme pain. A lot of women have a hard time controlling that push through that.
Yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
if we can allow that to stretch, we can often decrease the tearing, but it's pretty common.
Yeah.
It's pretty common. We try to reduce the amount of tearing.
So let's talk about the daddy stitch.
Oh,
You know, when the doctor's like, don't worry, I'll throw an extra one in there.
we'll get you back to
Yeah.
that
For that hubby of
pre-baby
yours,
delivery
yeah.
body. That is one of the meanest things I think we can do. They did it for, I want to say it was like 90s into 2000s. Somebody came up with this idea of making that area nice and tight again so that the daddy felt happy, I guess. I don't know. But what happens is it led to the mommies not wanting the daddy to be happy anymore.
So it led to pain.
It led to pain
Ooh.
because it's super tight in there and intercourse is painful now. And so moms aren't wanting to have it.
Yeah.
So do not get that extra daddy stitch. Every once in a while, I'll have somebody request it again. And I explain to them, nope. And in fact, I don't think our doctors will do that because it is so taboo and cause so much more pain after delivery with intercourse that it just made it not worth it. So no to the daddy stitch.
Yeah.
Go away, daddy
no
stitch.
daddy stitch. Sorry,
Nope.
daddies.
Nope. Let it just be stitched what it needs and heal on its own.
So speaking of tearing and then the daddy stitch, pooping after birth is an experience all on its own.
Right. You poop during.
Especially if you experience the unfortunate tearing.
Yeah, tearing or NAPs or anything like that.
It's not fun.
No.
No.
And it's a little terrifying. And so one of the important things we do is we do some stool softeners after delivery. And it doesn't hurt. You talk with your doctor, but the last month of pregnancy, constipation is pretty common.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
if you're constipated, think of this way. Okay, there's only so much room in that abdomen.
Right.
If there's a lot of poop in there,
I just love saying poop.
I know you do. It can cause the baby to not be able to come down well, right?
So your poop is getting in the way of your
Poop is
birthing.
getting in the way.
That
And then
poop.
you got to poop during labor and you got to poop after labor. But if you watch your diet, increase your fiber.
Okay.
Ask your doctor if a fiber supplement is right for you, if a stool
Like
softener
a
is right for you.
Metamucil?
Metamucil,
Okay.
yeah. Something like that. To help.
Yeah.
Some women have no problem at all.
Yeah.
And then there's others that
They're
are just,
lucky.
yeah, they're just constipated. But by having a good diet before delivery, constipation is a side effect of pushing a baby out just a little bit.
Right.
So that's why we do the stool softeners. And that first poop is uncomfortable. But if we've planned well and we've had a good diet before and we stay on top of it, it doesn't have to be absolutely horrible.
Okay.
So keeping the poop soft.
Yeah. Definitely great advice
Right.
that your mommy didn't tell you about.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one.
And breastfeeding can also be a challenge.
Yes.
Fortunately, at Rancho Springs, we have
We have an awesome
we
lactation
have
support team.
Yes, I love Yola.
Yes.
Shout out to Yola. Yes,
They
so-
are all, I have to say, they are all amazing and very passionate. And
Yes.
I have looked at them before and I'm like, this baby's not going to breastfeed. You know, we're going to have a problem with this one. And I walk in and I'm like, what'd you do?
Work their magic?
Yeah. It's like they have this wand. They're like, ba-doom. They're dropping fairy dust all around. And people are just latching left and right. Babies, not people.
Yes.
Babies.
And that's why a lot of women that come out of our center remember those lactation
Oh, yeah.
nurses. Yes.
They forget all about me. I may have
You've labored for hours with them.
Right.
And they remember
days of laboring.
Yes.
And their brain has been wiped clean, and they remember the lactation consultant that got the baby to latch.
Well, you're the part that you block out.
Right. Who was that nurse, Annette?
Yeah.
I don't. Who is your labor nurse? I mean, you get questions. Can you figure out who my labor nurse was?
Yeah.
And
it's funny when it turns out to be you.
I know. It was me. Yay.
We're like, let's go back to that day. Who was working that day?
Yeah.
And it was you.
It was me. That was funny.
Yes. So another thing totally unexpected to me, the sexy postpartum panties that they give
awesome.
you. They're super, super sexy ladies. I mean, they
Victoria's Secret has nothing on these.
Stick up out of your pants, and they're like this netted thing.
Oh, but they're way better than what they ever used to be.
But the new Depends that are out look
beautiful.
much nicer than what you get.
Now, a lot of women have chosen to buy a box of Depends or a package of Depends. Honestly, you're not bleeding that heavy for that long. One package should be plenty.
Don't be shy, ladies. Buy those Depends.
Buy them. They're really cute. They're like purple, and they have these little butterflies or bows on the front.
They're a lot cuter than what you get from the hospital.
And they stay in place. I mean, our mesh panties, they are great.
They're literally Annette.
They are.
I keep saying Annette today, and it sounds like you, not Annette.
My whole life.
Annette.
Welcome to my whole life. Jokes around Annette.
I know. Well, for me, it's the word actually. Some people say it where it sounds like Ashley, and I'm like, what?
Actually.
I digress.
Yeah, so think about it. If you want to buy some of those Depends, bring them in with you. We'll let you use them. We still offer the sexy mesh panties and the nice big pads, and they work wonderful. I mean, it's not a necessity to have one or the other. Ours are totally fine.
Right. But it could be fun making your husband go buy the Depends, just like those times when you have him buy your tampons. Oh, sorry, honey, I can't get to the store.
Picture.
Yeah,
well,
seriously.
And you know what? Amazon delivers.
Oh, see, there you go. Nobody has to know.
Shopping everything.
So when you get home, I mean, you hear about, having a baby, I get no sleep. It is not a real thing until you are getting no sleep. It is delirium sets in.
I think I knew. I was like, I know what it is. I babysat. Yeah. I had nieces and nephews. Sure. I was exposed to children. I thought I knew what sleep deprived was. I knew what to expect. And then, okay, this is the problem. We send these women home. They're flooded full of hormones. They hurt in areas that they never thought they hurt. They can't even poop yet, right? And they've got fluids coming out of orifices that they never knew would happen. Their breasts are sore. And we give them this cute little bundle of joy and say, go take care of it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's when exhaustion kicks in.
Yeah. I love the things that happen bringing home your baby, being shocked by the things your baby does. For instance, the first poop.
Ooh, it's all about the poop still.
It's all about the poop.
Ashley, you designed this episode perfectly.
I did. I'm sorry. I had to. I had a poop emoji in my mind the whole time I was thinking of it.
Oh my gosh.
But seriously, this is the real stuff. When that baby poops for the first time.
All I can picture is a poop emoji on your face. That's all I can picture.
Can we make it happen? Let's make it happen. Actually, I have a little stuffed animal poop emoji. I should have brought it. I don't know why I didn't. But seriously, that first poop.
It is.
Tell us why it looks like that.
Well, everything's been in there for, this is what's
a long time.
Been in the baby for the whole time, since
it's black.
Since conception. It is black.
It's black.
It is black. It is thick. It is tarry. It is sticky. It is like tar.
And once that clears out, it squirts and is green. And
depending on what your baby's eating and what you're eating, the baby's poop changes. Okay?
The first time I changed Jace's diaper, he was in the NICU.
Uh-huh.
And I pulled the diaper down. I lifted his legs up, and immediately it shot like a foot.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that could happen.
Nope.
So that.
And did you
that was
know that
pretty
every time
shocking.
you opened the diaper, he'd pee in your face?
Oh, no,
right?
no. I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah.
I've been peed on many times by my children.
I've had little girls even that I've been impressed with. So, I mean, that cold air hits and they just
I don't know much about the little girls, but the little boys, I'm like, look, let's cover that up. I remember the first time my husband was I'm like, cover it up or he's going to get you. Like,
Yes. I think I was surprised how many diapers you actually go through.
Yeah.
I was prepared. I mean, you do the calculation. Okay, 6 wet diapers a day is what we on average should expect, and maybe a poopy diaper. So that's what, maybe.
Don't buy that tiny box, ladies.
Oh,
that box is
no.
for like your random visits to mom's house.
Yep. Warehouse boxes.
Yeah, I mean, I have an Amazon subscription, and they're massive boxes when they come to the door, and it's necessary
It is.
because you just never know.
No, because honestly, they wait until you change the diaper to pee or poop in it. That is exactly what that's their goal.
Yeah.
Their goal is to poop, eat, and sleep.
Yeah.
And maybe not all,
They're so much fun. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you.
They are bundles of joy. And although I have to admit, one thing, let's go on a positive thing, that I didn't expect is when they put that baby on me. That first connection with the baby was amazing. And it made
all that laboring,
it's made everything else worth it.
And I mean, you totally forget everything. It's really funny. I think I remember even saying after I had my first, like, who would do this more than once?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I'm never having another kid. I mean, I did eventually 8 years later because I totally forgot. But, I had the colicky baby, and unfortunately, that's an unfortunate thing that could happen. But yeah, Jace was colicky for months, and I felt like I can't bond with my son. Like, this is hard.
Right.
And it was exhausting because he would never go to sleep. And
just as soon
I wasn't
as you would
expecting
fall
that.
asleep, because
That's when you wake up.
Yeah, you got the mommy saw me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was pretty delirious for quite a while. Fortunately, my second baby was a dream baby. If I had him first, I'd have like 10 kids and I'd be overwhelmed. But, God knew exactly what I needed in that moment.
Right.
But yeah, there's just a lot of things that you just don't expect. But yeah, the peeing and pooping, I wasn't expecting, all that. So memories.
Well, and the cost behind having a baby is surprising. And it's not just the hospital cost, but it's everything that adds up. So those are things that I didn't anticipate when I was having a baby.
And baby stuff's expensive, and it lasts for like 3 months. They want hundreds of dollars for these cameras and these clothes and these beds or bassinets that you only use for 3 months, and you're like, I spent $150 on that, and he slept for 3 months.
But yet, surprisingly, our great grandparents did it with like nothing. Cloth diapers. Oh,
they made their
in the
bassinet.
days.
They're like, here, I'll just whip one together. Like,
right?
Maybe we should take note
We've
of that.
got it easy. Why are we complaining?
Right. I mean, between the 8 years that I had mine and I went back to the baby store, I'm like, what is all this stuff? I didn't know I needed that. Like, oh, that's cool. There's so much stuff now. Like the boogie picker. The boogie picker is the most amazing invention ever. I mean, I love it. Ladies, get a boogie picker. It costs a fortune, like $15 for this little tool to scoop a boogie out.
But you know what?
But I have 2 of them, and I need them because when I see that booger in my son's nose, I want to pick it. Like, I need to pick it. The boogies and poop. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
So those are more of my favorite moments of being a mom. But, when they snuggle up next to you and, they're just hugging on you, I always tell Jackson, he gives me the monkey hug with the legs wrapped around and everything. He's like tight. Oh, that's what makes it all worth it.
It is.
And all that other stuff goes away.
Yep. And, I think that's exactly how it's supposed to be, because if it was easy, we wouldn't appreciate those hugs as much. And we wouldn't, those special moments of the, I love you, Mommy, that melt your heart.
Yeah.
Or just even watching them sleep when they finally go to sleep,
Well, because that little thing is like the most perfect being. And I've never experienced love like having a child. And it's really the most amazing thing in life that I've ever experienced. And I wouldn't take it back for the world. It's all perfectly imperfect, but it's okay because I wouldn't have it any other way. I think I've talked about enough poop and everything and getting pooped on and peed on and all that. So those are my perfectly imperfect moments, and I'm
about the poop,
I'm gonna
guys.
stick with that because I think you guys have heard me say poop enough.
I think she's counting. I don't know. Did she make a bet with somebody? How many times can we fit poop?
I have like that little.
Anybody that comes back through this and gives us an accurate number of poop podcast might win a free shirt.
It's like the Andy Cohen show where he's like tracking, and here's our word of the day.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we can close this one on out. I agree. I've had a great time talking about poop.
Poop it is.
This one is by far my favorite episode. So thank you everybody for tuning in to Perfectly Imperfect Momming, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to Perfectly Imperfect Mommying. Remember to subscribe to the podcast, share with all your mommy friends, and most importantly, leave your questions or comments. Till next time.